Hello, everyone. So, today I'm going to narrate about my Cognizant interview experience, and the total duration of the interview was around 55 minutes to 1 hour. So, the very first question that the interviewer had asked me that how was your morning? So, I had said, ma'am, that I didn't knew that I had my interview this morning. I received the mail at around 3 o'clock in the morning, and the very first thing that I got to know waking up in the morning was I have an interview right after 2 hours. So it was quite surprising, but yet a pleasant one. So the interview quite enjoyed that answer. And then after that, the very first question that the interview had asked me was to introduce myself. So thanks to Anshul, like I had referred his video, tell me something about yourself, and I had exactly narrated about myself and that pattern which he has in his video. So the second question that was asked to me was, what are the languages you know? As I knew C, C++, Java, and then I'm learning Python. So I had told the interview all the four languages that I know. So the third question that the interviewer had asked me, did you say that you know Java? So I said, yes, I know Java. So the next question that interviewer had asked me was to rate yourself in Java in the scale of 1 to 10. So to which I had replied, I rate myself as 6. So she was like, okay. So then the next question that she asked me was, then how much do you rate yourself in C or C++? To which I had said, I rate myself as 8. So that's it. And then the next question that was asked to me was, what does www means when you write an address with www dot something? So I had said that answer, the www means World Wide Web, and explained it, elaborated it rather. So she was quite satisfied with it. And then the next question was, what is your favorite subject from the branch? So since my favorite subject is digital electronics, since I'm from electronics and electrical, so I had told her that yes, ma'am, my favorite subject is digital electronics. So I think she wasn't from electronics background, so she started asking me questions from microprocessor. So these are the very basic questions, core branch, like my branch questions, which anybody can ask. So I had said, what are microprocessors? So she had asked me, what are the different types of microprocessors, which also I had said her. Then followed by the next question was, what was your favorite subject in school other than the engineering subjects? So I had said her biology and maths. So she had started asking me questions from physics. So she had said me that we all know Newton's three laws. So can you please tell me what are those laws? Like we are well acquainted with the third law, but I also want to know the first and the second law. So I had got confused when I was narrating the second law, but then as the interview was quite friendly, she helped me by saying that, are you sure about the second law? To which I understood that I was going wrong because I was confused, and then I had said her, yeah, I had told her the correct one. So she was quite happy. So then she had said me that, where is RAM located in CPU? To which I answered, in the motherboard. So exactly asked me where was it, which I had told her. Then she asked me, if you want to fetch the specifications of your computer or any software, where would you search in the computer? So I had answered this as well. After that, she had asked me, since you are from electrical background, so let me ask you some questions from electrical also. So I was okay, like yes, I got a bit nervous because I wasn't confident, I hadn't prepared that much from my electrical background as well. But then she asked me very basic questions. So, how does an induction motor start? To which I said her. Then the next question that she asked me was difference between an alternator and generator. I won't say I answered this completely, but yeah, since I couldn't answer this completely, like I answered whatever I knew, but then I told her at present I remember only this much and I'm not able to recollect anymore. So she said, like, no issues, it's not a problem, and she was quite friendly with me. So then again she jumped back to my project, that and asked me what was a proposed business logic, since my project is based on detecting malwares and viruses, that too using AI and ML. So she had asked me the proposed business logic, and then the entire programming logic and idea behind your project, that is how is my code going to detect which is a malicious file and which is a benign file, which I had told her obviously. Then major drawback of your project, like I told her, like my code could have increased efficiency. Like the efficiency can be increased for my project, so I had told her that. And then the future scope of your project, like my project has a future scope, and that is, since I'm dealing with a project that detects malwares, that to using two latest technologies, so obviously there is a very big future scope, which I had told her. Then she had asked me a very basic question, that is the difference between AI and ML, which I told her that you can term ML as a subset of AI, and elaborated that as well. So then she asked me, programming, right? So can you just write down a program for me which finds out all the prime numbers in from 1 to 100. Like first she had told me just find out the prime number, so I had specifically asked her, since she hadn't mentioned me whether to assume a number by myself or to input the number, like to take a user input or to find out the numbers from a within a given range. So then I asked her, and she said me, yes, just take it from 1 to 100 and write the code. So I had wrote it down in the comment section, and then she asked me that write on the code and tell me what is your logic behind the code that you have written. So which I had explained her very nicely, and she was quite satisfied with it. And then she moved on to giving me two quants question. That was, one was from profit and loss. It wasn't that tough, it was quite easy. Yeah, like it was easy, the difficulty level wasn't that much. And followed by a probability question, which was a simple probability question. And after that she had gave me two puzzle questions to solve, which one was regarding clock hours, like I had to detect the angle between the hands of a clock, and one more which I really don't remember right now. So that's it. And after that she went on, asked me again, she jumped from reasoning to like puzzle questions, she had jumped to linear data structures, and she had asked me what do you mean by linear data structures, since in my CV it was written that I know data structures. So she had asked me data structures as well, which I had told her. And then the next question that she asked me was what are arrays and linked list, to which I had explained her. And then she asked me, on seeing a program, how will you decide whether to use array or linked list? To that logic also, explained her quite like she was quite satisfied using with that answer. Then the next question that she asked me was, are you aware of the oops concept? So I said yes ma'am, I'm aware of the oops concept. So I cross questioned her, should I explain it to you with giving live examples, like real world examples? To which she had replied that no need, just awareness is fine, I don't need an explanation of the concepts. Then she had asked me, give an example of using array within a structure. If possible, give a real world example of it. To which I had given a real world example. And then she had asked me, what do you mean by URL? Which I had explained again. Then the next question was, what are the problems you faced while making a project and how did you overcome that? So I had explained that since due to this pandemic, I had to shift my project from hardware to software. My project was dealing with solar panels, and it was totally based on electrical background. And just because of this pandemic, since it was an on-field project and we couldn't complete that, I had to shift it down to software project entirely, so that I couldn't come up with a logic that I don't have a project just because of the pandemic. To which she was quite satisfied, and she was like, wow. Then the next question that she asked me was, what were your grades in class 12 and 10 and 12 and your current CGPA? Then the next question was, she asked that what was your contribution to the project. Now, since I had actually helped in developing the code and documenting it, so I had explained her completely, and I explained the codes actually, whatever the code I had written. I had explained it to her. She didn't ask me to share my screen and show her the codes and all, just a verbal explanation was enough. So after that, she had asked me, can you cite me some real world examples of linear data structures that you have just stated? What are those? So I had answered that as well. So the next question that she asked me was, how are you training your code using machine learning? Like, since it uses ML, so what is your code, how is the efficiency increasing, which I had explained as well. The next question that she had asked me is, do you know, or do you have any knowledge about cryptography or deep learning? Now, since I hadn't mentioned that anywhere in my CV, neither do I know what these technologies are. So I had clearly said, no ma'am, right now I don't have any knowledge about cryptography and deep learning, but if trained, yes, I will definitely be able to deal with these technologies as well. So the next question that she asked me was, what was the efficiency of your code used in your project? Like, she wanted to basically know the output of my program and how efficient is my code in detecting the malwares. So actually in my code, I had used various types of algorithms. Like, there are 3 to 4 types of malware detecting processes that I have used, and I have actually made a comparison that which code detects most efficiently. So she had asked me to explain all those various algorithms used in my project. So, and then the next question is, which algorithm was most efficient and what was the actual output of that algorithm, which I had explained her. Apart from academics, have you taken part in any cultural program in your college life? Since I hadn't taken part in that much, like, I wasn't that actively involved, so I had said, no ma'am, I haven't involved myself that much. But in school life, yes, I have definitely done and hosted many of the programs since I was a prefect in my school. So the next question she asked me was, when you were heading any cultural program in your school, how did you plan the event? Like, you're given a responsibility, how did you take up that? And suppose if in your in your group, if one member is unwilling to work, how will you would deal with that? So I had answered that, ma'am, I would first list out the to-do list, whatever the action items are there for the event, and then I will see the number of uh, people there in my group willing to work and what are their competencies. Like, I will actually try to give that work. Like, suppose if there is a work, I will give that to that particular person who actually wants to do that work, and in that way I will not try to give a disinterested work to a disinterested uh, group member. So she said, okay. And then she asked me what were the various resources you used in your project. Since I took help from GitHub, I took help from Google, and there were many resources. I had said her that as well. Uh, After that, she said me one experience of yours where you were in real stressful condition and how did you manage to overcome it. To which I had narrated an experience from my personal life, which I had gone through in my school life. Basically, not school life, but in a transition period from school to college. So after that, she had asked me, what are the latest technologies you're currently working in? So since I'm currently working with AI, ML, Python, so I had told her that, and I'm also aware of IoT, so I had told her that as well. So she had asked me, the next question was that, are you aware of cloud computing and IoT? Which I said, not that very efficient, but yes, I am aware of IoT and cloud computing. So she then the next question that she finally asked me was, what do you mean by dictionaries in Python? Which I had answered her again. So at last, after that, my interview ended. And at conclusion, she said, okay, Sneha, it was very nice meeting to you. Wait for your results. Your results will be sent to your college TPO, or you may contact your college TPO for the results. Thank you.